Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You're about to witness the grand finals here at the HCS Pro League Summer 2016 Finals. Bravo here at the desk with Elamite and T-Squared. Guys, we have quite a grand final ahead of us, of course. As we said before the break, many expected these two teams to be our final two.
I mean, these are clearly the two best teams here that we have in the league. We talk about trying to rank the best players in the game, and just so happens you've got both of these guys and both of these squads doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to look like this series could certainly go down to the wire. Now, keep in mind, these two teams did meet during the Pro League, right? Week 4 and Week 5. It was a 3-2 CLG for the first one and then a 3-1 as well.
Yeah, and E6 has such an advantage because of the fact that they were able to play so many games. Their communications warmed up, their shots are warmed up, they're feeling really good about themselves. They also have to be confident because they are the only team in the HCS Summer Pro League during those 7 weeks to take down CLG. And the series that they won was actually a pretty convincing series. So these guys have to be feeling really good going in. And, I wouldn't be surprised to see them potentially take this very first game because CLG may be feeling a little bit sluggish. They haven't played that many games.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was actually going to say, and apologies, I did have those scores incorrect earlier for those weeks, but, Week 4, like you said, was the 3-1 Enigma6, and actually they came out of the gate. It was the Strongholds Eden, and as 132 was that score. My note was, maybe E6 was able to catch CLG off guard, and that could have been a determining factor for the series.
Yeah, and like I said, it wasn't even a 3-2. It didn't go to a Game 5. It was a 3-1. In the games that they won, they were convincing. And when you think about how strong they are in the Strongholds game types, they haven't even been winning the Strongholds game types. They've been doing so well in Slayer, and we could see the lineup of CLG, Royal 2, Snakebite, Lethal, and Frosty with their coach Royal 1, the older brother of Royal 2. And these guys have done such a good job, Bravo, of controlling the flow of the game and the pace, as well as the weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, 4 names that have now become synonymous with victory in the Pro League, and excited to get this match underway. It looks like players are getting their final warm-ups in and final checks as you take a look at Kratos there discussing with the station referee. But, we've heard from Kratos on the stage for these last few matches, and he seems pretty confident. He'll be excited about this and walk us through this Enigma6 roster as well.
Yeah, Boo Boo Doo Boo. You saw him just ridiculous with the sniper, really great at staying alive, a really sneaky player. Then you have Shooter, the dirty player, the objective player, the assist meister, Kratos, the leader. Also, Shooter is the in-game leader. A lot of people think Kratos is the in-game leader. He's more of the emotional leader, and also these guys kind of look up to him outside of the game. And then you also have Hook over there, just a monster when it comes to laying down the amount of damage in the kills. So just a very well-rounded squad.
Yeah, we also talked about their seeding order as well, right? You have the young guns on the outside, which isn't always the case. It depends. We've seen even with the different, even sets of twins, right? Where the ogres sat next to each other, how Roy and Lunch always have sat next to each other. It does play into it. Let's go ahead and take a look now at the series layout for our grand finals. Keep in mind, this will be our first best of 7 here. If CLG is able to win, they will win the tournament. However, should Enigma6 bounce back, they will send us to a second best of 7. We're kicking things off here with Coliseum CTF.
Yeah, Coliseum CTF has been played a lot today by E6. They had the replays with C9. I actually really like this draft coming out for E6 because you do have CLG. We were talking about Rig Strongholds. They are 5-5 in that, so very even when it comes to that. But they are pretty strong in every single game type. They are a little weak though in Eden and in the Rig. And if you are going to beat CLG, it's going to happen in the very beginning of this series. You have to take 2 of these first 3 games in order to stand a chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, one thing I certainly have noticed as well is the narrow wins that they did have to take. For example, in week number 4. Enigma6 did win Fathom CTF 3-2, right? So those narrow wins in the CTF matches are going to make a big difference.
I couldn't agree more. They have to have those victories here.
All right, now, of course, going out through the rest of the series as well, we'll see Eden Slayer, the Rig Strongholds, Fathom capture the flag, Regret Slayer, Empire Strongholds, and lastly, Plaza Slayer will be our game number 7. And what a joy it would be to see another best of 7. Of course, you just saw the losers bracket finals, which was a best of 7 as well. And it came down to the wire, Rig Slayer being the determining factor. We actually didn't get to talk about that. I wanted to point out that E6 had 16 power weapon kills over Envy's 5, right? And when you're looking at a Slayer match, that can often be the determining factor.
Yeah, the thing is they have to get these weapons, but they need to not miss with these weapons because we saw what Frosty can do. We know what Royal 2 can do when they get the railgun or the sniper or the rockets in their hands. So I'm looking to these guys in CTF Coliseum to start this series off. Who's going to be able to get the sniper and just to be getting into that cave, making sure that Royal 2 isn't in your cave because some people even call that the Royal 2 spot. So you have to control the weapons and make sure that you're executing your shots correctly at the same time.
That's right. I'm also taking a look at CLG's Capture the Flag Coliseum record. It's actually 4-0, so no surprise that they're comfortable playing that here. As I look across to Enigma6, they're 2-1. So certainly the stats don't tell us that there's any guarantees from this match. However, CLG with the better record on that match. That is going to be our first game. It looks like the players are loading in, so we'll throw over to our casters in just a bit. But you know, I've been asking all weekend. Some of our predictions here from the analyst desk they've been all right. Some have been a bit off. Tom, your thoughts on how this series might go?
I'm going to go with a 4-2 in favor of CLG. I want to see it be a little bit closer, but I think that's how this one's going to play out. I think probably they're going to take the strongholds and also they're going to take a Slayer. I don't think they're going to be able to take a CTF. It's going to be a pretty close series. Again, I think E6 has the momentum. They have to be feeling good. They have to be feeling confident. Hugh all smiles right now. So these guys, you know, this is their moment to shine. This is their moment to prove. CLG, they just need to come out and do what they normally have been doing. They don't have to change anything. They just need to continue to play like they did earlier today. But if E6 plays the way that they did against Envy, I don't even think that they're going to be able to take a game off CLG.
I agree, and I think you said it very well that Enigma6 needs to come out hammering right out of the gate this series if they hope to take it. They need to make a statement early on. To walk us through the action, two fine gentlemen will be bringing us the plays. Sims and Strongside, over to you.
Thanks very much, Brav. Welcome to the Xfinity Desk. My name is Sims. This is Strongside, the Simside duo coming at you for this grand finals matchup. And it's going to be one hell of a match. This is obviously the only team that has managed to take down CLG throughout the North American Pro League. But, Mike, I've got to ask for your opinion here because CLG, they are looking strong. They are looking like the CLG that we honestly know. Any initial thoughts before we go to an interview?
You know, I mean, E6, if there's a team to do it, it's them. They've been there in the regular season. They've beaten them, so they know what it's like to take down the top dogs.
All right then, guys. Let's jump on board with the main stage to hear from the captains before we get this match underway.
Jumping on board indeed. So I've got the two captains from both of these teams, fantastic players, of course. Just going to grab a quick interview with them now. Kratos, do you realistically think that you can beat these guys after the performance they've had this weekend?
Yeah, we've beat them before. It's the same thing. They're better online. So, I mean, we put up a good fight with them online. So, and we have the momentum. They've been sitting.
Exactly the confidence I wanted to hear. And obviously you have got some fans in the crowd that are behind you as well. So best of luck. That's a really loud noise. Now, over to you, Snakebite. How do you guys feel going into this one? Are you really confident? You've obviously been performing really well, but it's been a good 4 or 5 hours since you've last played.
Just confident as we normally are. We're pretty excited to go against these guys. Obviously, with already being qualified for Pro League, we didn't have the opportunity to play them, so it's just cool to play a new roster. Hopefully it's a good series.
Okay, guys, right. Best of luck. Shake hands. Enjoy the game. Back over to Sims for the analysis of the game.
Thanks very much, Dan. Some loud noises indeed. There are fans on both sides of the board. We've heard cheers, we've heard screams, we've heard all kinds of noises coming from the crowd upstairs. And it's going to be a good game. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, Mike. I'm worried for E6. CLG is just doing CLG kind of things. But you know what? They've got a nice little crowd with them of E6. And they're coming off a pot. They're coming off of a win. They're coming hyped from a game number 7. They're here to play.
But it doesn't seem like Kratos is worried. I mean, you saw him. He was like, yeah,
confident.
We can win. Like, are you serious? We're E6. We've taken down CLG. We can do it again. Obviously, Counter Logic Gaming is playing really well right now. And if they keep that up, it's going to be very hard for Enigma6 to fight back. But, you know, I feel like if Enigma6 can take that first game, they can start to push CLG back into a corner and kind of throw them off a little bit. Because, I mean, it's not very often we see CLG thrown off their game. When they lost in those games in the regular season, Royal 2 ended up having to go to the hospital that next week. He was very ill, but on his return, they were back in tip-top shape, and now they are still in tip-top shape.
And they are looking tip-top in. I just don't want to kind of mirror your words there, so to speak, because they're looking really, really good. There's not a lot we can say about CLG. These are the kings of the mountains. These are the champions for a reason. These are the boys that you've got to beat if you want to be walking home with that trophy. In my opinion, it's their event to lose, but, you know, credit where credit's due. E6 have been putting up one hell of a fight. They've made it all the way to the grand finals. They beat them and took them down before in the Pro League. Can they do it here on LAN? That is the big question. You can see there the trophy shining in all of its glory. It's within reaching distance of both of these teams. All they have to do is claim the 4 victories in 4 maps, and they will be lifting that above their head and being crowned the summer season champions.
Now, I think for E6 to be able to win this as well, Hook has really got to step up his game. We've seen Shooter really step it up. Hook hasn't been having the best event so far. Yeah, he's had some stellar games, but he hasn't had that consistency that we've seen throughout the regular season in Pro League. Maybe he's a bit flustered, kind of being at this LAN environment once again, but if he can step it up, E6 is going to have a lot easier of a time taking games from CLG, but you can see all of them are very focused and actually not even getting a chance to interview Shooter because he just wanted to focus on the next series. He didn't even want to talk to anybody. He just wants to get ready for that next series against CLG, and he's got his eyes locked on for that prize.
At the end of the day, it's not just about kind of what you see that goes on screen and in the game. It's also a mental game as well, and you have to be mentally prepared to do some damage and jump into the arena because I mentioned Hell in a Cell earlier on. It's very, very dangerous, and when you're going up against CLG, you've got to be timing all the weapons. You've got to be timing all the power-ups. You've got to be playing 110% because, mark my words, CLG are going to be firing on all cylinders. They're going to do CLG things. They're not going to let you get out of your spawn. They're not going to give you any chance to take control of any weaponry whatsoever. They own the map, you know. As far as they're concerned, this map is theirs. The weapons are theirs. If you want to take them off them, you've got to put up one hell of a show to steal it kind of from under their noses, so to speak.
And kicking off with Coliseum CTF, I mean, you can't let Royal 2 get the sniper in that Royal 2 spot. You can't let Frosty get the rockets and roam around your base. You've really got to keep those power weapons away from CLG. I mean, this is one of their best game types, too. I mean, they're known to score the flag within the first minute countless times over and over again every time they play this game type. So it's definitely surprising to see Enigma6 kind of throw up the challenge here, saying, you know what? We know you're good at this game type, but we think we're better. We think we can take you down in Coliseum CTF. And if they can, I mean, I think that's going to put a dent in CLG's armor. That's going to kind of fluster them a little bit and potentially allow E6 to have that potential success rate go on throughout that series. But I mean, it's not going to be an easy road. They have to beat CLG in 2 best-of-7 series, so they have a lot more games to play, and they've already played a lot today on top of that.
They've got a lot of work to do, and the one person that they need to be careful of is Mr. Map Movement himself, Frosty. Mr. Do whatever the hell I want. He gets away with murder. The way that he kind of brings together all these Spartan abilities and just roams around the map. Definitely, if not the best player in the world right now, in my personal opinion. You can kind of see him there, just give it a little smile, cheeky smile to the camera. But this boy on cam right now is the one that needs to go clutch, the one that needs to grab the sniper rifle and do Hook things. He's done it in the past. Can he do it again? That is the big question. I don't want to say he's been having a bad series because that's far from it. He's been playing awesome, like all of these players have that have been here up on the main stage and are on the main stage now. But we've not seen the Hook magic. We've not seen some of those wild and wonderful shots from back at NA Regionals and Worlds. We've not seen the flying double no-scope, triple kill, 420, spin around, kill people like we've seen during the Pro League. You know what? If there's a time to do it, it's now.
Yep, he was Mr. Highlight Reel during the regular season. I mean, how many clips did we see in the top 5 every single week from him? I mean, every time the man picked up a sniper, it would just auto-connect to another player's head every single time. The doubles, the triples, the overs. I mean, just it's insane how good he is with that sniper rifle. And then this event, we've seen Boo Boo Doo really go off with the sniper. And then on top of that, Shooter, I mean, nobody knew he was that good with the sniper and putting up these big of numbers. You even heard Kratos say, he's like, you know what, if Kratos is doing, or if Shooter's doing that, he's not supposed to be, but we'll take it.
We called it the MVP. I called him Mr. Underrated. We're seeing the fist bumps come out from CLG, which means one thing. These guys are locked. They are loaded. This is game number 1. Make some noise in the audience. It's grand finals time, baby. Championship Sunday. Let's find out who's going to be walking away as the summer season champions. Kicking things off with Frosty's POV.
Frosty headed straight for the sniper, making a charge, picks it up immediately and rips off Hook's face. Hook wanted that sniper, but Frosty's got other plans. Look at CLG just collapse up at E6's base immediately. You've got Frosty in the cave just constantly putting up that pressure. I mean, what a way to say, hello, we're going to wake you up here in this game number 1.
Good morning. He goes for that sniper and loses space. Now he's moving up to S3 to kind of lock down this whole sniper section. He catches one guy running across on the fountain. Hook's going to come in for the ground pound. He decides to opt out and thrust away. You see that Snakebite in front. He's going to go into the cave to really get a bit of map presence and make him presence known with the rockets. Now we will see Royal 2 running the flag towards the window. Nobody's there, though, yet to pick up the flag. I'm seeing Snakebite moving in. Snakebite, I believe, has also dropped as well. In fact, he hasn't. I'm telling lies. He's there. I think he was taken out from behind him. Another shot coming in from Frosty. They are very slowly but surely moving this flag. But where Frosty is at the moment, he's just pinning CLG back. But as we look across the board, the flag of CLG is also on the move, Mike.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now Frosty sees that, so he has to make this opportunity to get that flag out of the base and not allow them to get that easy cap. And he does exactly that. He throws it out to the courtyard. And this is such a great place to throw the flag because it's going to make it so hard to get a return. It's so exposed. He can get eyes on it. You'll see right there, Frosty off the spawn, he's got eyes on that flag. But it looks like they are going to get that return, and they will get that first cap.
E6 going 1-0 up. The pressure is now on. What a cracking start from them. One person over on the pyramid is going to go flying off the map. Farewell, Shooter. Boo Boo Doo Boo wants a piece as well. Frosty says, bring it on, Sunshine. There's a double kill. Clambers up and does not go flying off the map. The grenade's going to come in, though, so he will have given his position away. 2 people back of the base. Let's slow it down just for a second. One person's going to advance into that blue cave. 2 players, though. Royal 2, he's sat up on the DMR. They're going to bring them in. They're going to get that kill. We're still off the spawn with Frosty's POV, looking towards those rockets. One player's there, whips out the Magnum, gives Lethal the assist. He says, you know what, I've seen rockets, eyes on the prize. They're mine, baby. Just trying to find them, though, because they're not flying around. He can't seem to find them. Where are they, Mike? I don't actually know where they are.
They might have fallen bottom middle, but he's going to have to leave those.
Oh, no, they're not. They're there. They're in the hands of Kratos. He actually picked them up earlier. None of us actually saw that one.
Wow, Kratos must have snuck by with that, but look at this. That's going to be 1 down for E6, 3 down for CLG, so that flag is going to be stopped. Now E6 is going to have to keep this up because, you know, they do have the lead, but they do not want to slow up. They don't want to play defensive. We've seen what's happened to them earlier in the tournament when they had the lead and tried to play defensive. They ended up losing the game, so they need to play aggressive. They need to keep that pressure on and do not get stuck in their base.
Okay, we're hopping aboard to Lethal. He's now just going to thrust off the map and then come back in, hanging around on the pyramid. He has to come out so he doesn't get killed from the gods as he is timing down, looking towards this blue cave. He knows somebody's in there. 2 grenades are going to follow in from his teammates, make that a 3rd. Unfortunately, one will just clip him to put in 50% shield. Hook comes around. He says, I'll deal with that one and take that freezer kill. No problem. 2 players going to work together, but a close call medal as he does drop from yet another grenade. Boo Boo Doo Boo's now going to push hard on Snakebite to knock him back. Snakebite says, I'm going to challenge this one and take that kill for myself. Snakebite on 11 kills already, the only player to hit double figures. Let's jump into his POV as he makes his way from the cave inside the base. There's Hook, make that 12.
That's going to be
doing
3
awesome
down for E6. CLG is making their descent into the base, trying to get a cap. But look at this. They're able to take down Lethal. That's going to hurt CLG's attempt to get a flag out of their base. You'll notice the guys on CLG just trying to slay, trying to open this opportunity to get the flag. And actually, Snakebite's going to get that last shot and get the perfect kill. Now, moving the flag all the way to bottom rockets. This is a perfect flag run because he knows that the spawn was still open over by the cave side. So he's going to run it all the way over over to the other side where his teammate was blocking elbow, and he's going to get that flag cap. We're all tied up here, Sims, 1-1.
What a perfect way to run it. Watch the spawns, but more importantly, watch where your teammate is. He was up on rockets, they spawned, he grabbed them to give him the defense. And honestly, fair enough, it was a great run from Stickback, but that all relied on his teammates helping him around the map. And look at this, he's just watching people spawn. One grenade goes in, second player will challenge. He will get taken down by Kratos though from on the opposing side. Excuse me. Now we see Frosty running another flag. He's going to jump this up to DMR, do what he normally does. This is usually where we see him kind of put things together. The thrust comes across, then the ground pound, back of the net. We're all back to the lead now for CLG. It is 2 caps to 1.
And take a look at these stats here. We've got 47 kills from the guys over on Counter Logic Gaming and only 26 kills from the guys over on E6. So CLG just dominating in the slaying department right here, just keeping the guys on E6 just on respawn constantly. And it just, every time we're on board with a player on CLG, it's like they're spawning up in E6's base. They haven't left that 50-yard line from E6's base. So these guys are just keeping that pressure up, and E6 has got to make a move outside. If they are just going to constantly get stuck in their base, CLG is going to easily take this one home. But now, this is trouble. You've got Hook with the sniper. If we can see him really step up and be Mr. Highlight Reel like we've seen in the past, we're going to see some big things. He's able to get the double kill, clearing out the base there. Now, attempting to get the run. That's going to be 2 down for CLG. They're all spawning up over by the elbow. He's got to get into position to potentially stop there. Opposite flag run. Not going to be able to do so. That's a big kill from Lethal. Hook's going to go down. The sniper's down, but look at this. E6 able to rally the flag all the way back to their base in a safe location. And then on the other side, you've got Frosty with the flag all the way back at his base. So we've got a standoff here. I wonder which team is going to make the better push, because we've seen CLG just consistently keep that pressure. A big kill by Kratos, giving them the opportunity. Look at this. You've got Enigma6 making their push in. They've located the flag. Frosty throws it out. He's trying to get it into an area where they can't get the return. That flag is still sitting there, potentially not going to be able to get returned. You've got Lethal snagging the flag, which is going to stop E6 from tying up the game right there.
Now, the initial kill that came from Lethal before where he died, he did have rockets. So I'm quite intrigued as we look across to see where they are. We can see Lethal's here with the flag. Let's move across to a different POV. Go back to Mr. Map Movement himself, Frosty. He's got rockets in his hand. One person will come flying around the corner. Down he goes as well. We're going to get a reload on those rockets. No, we're not. He's going to switch them out. There's the sniper as well. Another one's going to come round. That's 2 more players. They're actually advancing into that flag. Down goes the grenade just to try and give himself a little bit of a defensive shield, so to speak. Kratos wants to challenge it. Down he will go. 2 members of CLG will fall. But you know what, Mike? This is still a standoff.
Yeah, but Frosty's got the sniper rifle. You got to expect if he can get into a good position, stay alive, wait for his teammates to make a push. But he's got himself in a bad situation, and E6 notices that, and they immediately take him down. Now over on the other side, you've got Kratos trying to push up. You've got Hook pushing up as well, right behind Kratos. Not able to finish this kill just yet. There you've got it. Hook's able to pick up that kill. That's 2 down for CLG. E6 is making their descent into the base. They've got to stay alive, though, when making that push. And there you see that flag will go down. That flag is just sitting there in the cave. No one able to get the return. And then over on the other side, Kratos has left that flag back at the base. So still a standoff. Neither team to either make a successful charge, but these rockets could be very big for Royal 2 and Counter Logic Gaming. If he can use these to make this push into the base, he's able to take down Hook, but he falls to Shooter. Shooter with a clutch kill, constantly making some big plays for E6.
Lethal doing some work out in the open, though. We're now going to stay on the board. Sorry, it was in the POV of Royal 2. Booba Dooba comes flying around the corner down on the maze. I mean, Mike, as we look across at the moment, it's very much back and forth. Obviously, CLG do have the lead. In your opinion, really, who's kind of got control of the map here? Who's really in control of this game?
Right now, you've got E6 in control, picking up the double kill. That's 3 down for CLG. They're making this push, but they can't get the flag guy. What a move by Snakebite, thrusting away from that rocket, but Hook is still in great position. I'd say Enigma6 still holding a good position on the map, potentially getting this flag return right now. Hook's gonna go for it, not able to connect. It was like CLG just baited that flag, waiting for a player from E6 to go in and get that return. Sims, you're cringing over here. What's going on?
He tried so hard, but unfortunately fell just at the last moment. Now we're going to see a sniper rifle come into the hands of one of the players. We're looking across the board to see exactly exactly who that is. It's Boo Boo Doo we saw previous. He was doing some serious work. One person's going to get tagged up over at the pyramid. I'm looking for that assist medal to come in, but it's not actually landing. He's going to live again to fight another day. Someone's beelining him heavily from that DMR area, so he needs to be extremely careful. He is surviving by the skin of his teeth. He's going to jump out rather aggressively. This one player is going to thrust round the corner. He doesn't know Boo Boo's there. He doesn't know he's actually been juked. That's going to be Snakebite. Snakebite, no! What a massive kill. How did he get that? That's going to be the flag return. CLG clutch it up in the final moments. That was huge at the end. What a massive kill from Snakebite to get that one down.
That was a clutch play. That won them the game right there. Snakebite getting that reversal, which looked like Boo Boo Doo Boo should have had that kill, potentially should have put the sniper away a bit sooner and just pulled out that pistol. But, I mean, you got to give credit to Snakebite right there. Just the stone cold killer. Just doing what he needs to do to get CLG the win. And let's take a look at these stats.
21-14, 21-16. Snakebite and Royal 2, the duo of ages of old, are still here and still dominating maps. Hook, 19-20. Biggest scores on his team, -1. Little bit of an unfortunate game for Shooter down at the bottom, 8-17, but he did have 10 assists, and what a way to start that game. Pick up the sniper, bullet straight between the eyes of one of the enemy players as they do try and rally this one back. Little bit of a messy game at the end, but it all came down to CLG, and honestly, it all came down to Snakebite. That final kill really was the telling tale. What a reversal to seal the deal, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, CLG just going so clutch, and then the opportunity where E6 had rockets over on the elbow, and Hook kind of got baited in by the guys on CLG. It looked all open. It looked like nobody was around, but CLG, they had two players just sneaking around right by them, just waiting for someone to go for that flag, and this was that play right there. Tries to get the return, not able to do so. And then there it is, Snakebite.
Just disgusting.
What a play from Snakebite. Just, that's going to be one of the top plays, honestly, for me, if I had to say there was a top play this event.
Give him an inch, he's going to take a mile. Counter Logic Gaming closeout game number 1, 3 flag caps, 2-1 on Coliseum CTF. We are now moving into an Edom Team Slayer. A couple of important notes on this one. You do have a sniper rifle in play. You do have rockets in play. Once again, this is going to be extremely, extremely dangerous. CLG, man, just...
You got to like to see this, though. If you're an E6 fan, look at E6. They don't look down. They're not looking down at their monitors, down at their controllers. They're talking strategy.
Yep.
They don't care what just happened. They're focused on that next game, and that's exactly what they need to be doing. You don't see any pouty faces there. They're ready to go. They know that they can win.
Too many times we'll see a team just sit there, closed mouth, doing nothing. They're just staring at a monitor and looking rather down in the mouth, so to speak. But these guys, they're up on main stage for a reason. You know, they went to a Game 7 before and they clutched it out at the final moments. They are facing, of course, the champions, the reigning kings under the mountain. It's not exactly easy, but they are talking their way through this one. Hopefully going to try and rally something back as we approach Game 2. And as you can see there, the trophy shining in all of its glory. Game number 2 is now underway, guys. It's going to be Team Slayer on Eden. The first 250 kills will secure the win. I think this time round we'll have to jump on board with a listen-in with CLG, probably about a minute into the game. We're going to kick things off with Snakebite's POV. He played out of his mind that previous game, Mike. He was absolutely on fire.
You know he's feeling confident, and on top of that, CLG made a successful push all together here to get these rockets as well. So Hook has the sniper, so let's actually move over to him. Frosty has the rockets on the other side, and Hook is looking to pick up a few headshots over here. I like the positioning. This is always a prime spot to be because you have escape routes. You can come back into blue, you can go back out towards the turbine area and stay alive, and you've got a lot of protection here. So he's got the sniper in one of the best spots that you can be in. And look at that. They're just kind of baiting the players in from CLG. Snakebite trying to open up a push for the guys on CLG, but unable to do so. Boo Boo Doo Boo will fall, and it looks like CLG's trying to still make that push, but E6 just capitalizing on those single player pushes right now. And now look at this rotation. This is exactly what they need to do, and E6 is playing this perfectly. I'd love to stay on board with Hook and hop into the observer mode and see if he's able to pick any faces off.
Yeah, you'll be able to see now with the player outlines coming into play, they do have a lead, but it's only by 1. It's not exactly much. He's going to dip down low and just check the pit area to see if anyone's around. He catches Snakebite, sees his face, lands a bullet right between his eyes. That's going to put another point on the board. And we've seen Eden play out many a times, Mike. We do know that it is a rather slow-paced game. Fair enough, things can escalate out of control rather quickly. But at the moment, it's E6 who are in the driving seat. They've got the weapons. They have the time on their side. They just need to let CLG make the mistakes and come to them. But as we look at CLG, you can see on the left-hand side at the top, Frosty's got the rockets. We've got Royal 2 with a shotgun. Another kill for Hugh. They're still racking these up one by one.
Oh.
That's going to be a no-scope for a double. Doesn't land the triple. One player going toe-to-toe. That's going to be Snakebite. He will answer back to Hugh. Now going one-on-one with Shooter. He gets the beat down just a tad too early. Shooter will respond himself. He also gets dropped. Let's try and find somebody who's alive. That's going to be Kratos, and he just drops down on the rocket guy.
And look at this. Neither team letting either team get the rocket launcher, just battling for it. And actually, that is going to go into the hands of Snakebite here. So the game, still neither team pulling away, and you can tell that both teams are playing very slow. So actually, let's jump into a listen in with Counter Logic Gaming.
Oh, wait, we have everything. Yes, we have everything. All right, new snipe. Come get the Tamo, Yanni. All right. Wait, you want me to grab him? Slow it down.
Yeah, just let Brad snipe.
Yeah.
Blue window.
Do they have
shot? No, we have shotgun.
Okay. Dude, just two outside. Flying.
Back up.
There's two flying.
He's on brick.
Yeah, I'm on head, man.
Nice.
Nice, Brad.
Turbine, one shot Kratos. Or two shot guys. Can we collapse on Turbine? He's outside blue. Nice. He's blue steps, let's go. Or there's one more up. Yeah, he was, right. Yeah, blue steps and blue door. Blue steps, Matthew. Yeah, top blue weak. Who? They're blue out. They're going to be all over blue.
Nice. Did you get new sight?
Yes.
We still have rockets, guys. We still have rockets.
Guys, I think there's one still around blue alley.
Yo, I'm gonna shot from red. Blue alley thing?
I'm pretty sure there's one still blue alley.
Just check your corners, I don't have any nades to check. They're in tower.
I have rockets. Can I go tower with these rockets?
You still have
No. Want me to stay outside?
They're in tower.
Okay.
There's one sitting right plat. One sitting right plat. Yeah. We have the lead. No need to rush anything.
We have sniping rockets.
We have everything. We have everything.
Yeah, TJ.
Peek your alley?
No, I
consider your
guys, listen to me. I swear that there is one hiding around blue alley. I'm gonna nade it. I'm nading it. I'm throwing nades.
This
guy's top cat. I see him move. He's top cat. He's top cat, guys. Like hiding out on it. Yeah, in blue alley. Blue alley. I might die.
No free deaths. Yeah, I'm watching alley with Sean.
New rockets and 10 guys.
Yeah. PJ, you get out. Make them
top cat.
Make them fight you at rockets. We can
I got hit. Nice shot, dude.
No, I'm outside. Right, I'm watching
Yo, blue window, and from blue alley.
And as we come out of the listening right now, we will see that Counter Logic Gaming have now taken the lead, and they've only increased this by 14. Some absolutely magnificent highlight clips coming out of Frosty, but more importantly, Mike, look at how many rockets Snakebite's got in the barrel.
Yeah, I mean, that's something. That's a nice little present to have right there in your back pocket. He's not even using any of them yet. He's still using his pistol, saving these up, just potentially could get the next set of rockets as well and have two players with a lot of rockets on their team, but he's definitely not wasting them. He's keeping them in his back pocket, waiting for that opportunity to use these rockets. That's pretty much at least, I'd say at least 3 or 4 kills guaranteed. And I mean, look at this. CLG, 2 guys fall, but Snakebite's still just staying back a little bit with those rockets. He doesn't want to allow the other team to get those rockets and potentially lose control. They still have the lead, so there's no reason to make a push. But over on the other side, we got to switch over to Boo Boo Doo Boo, though. He's got the sniper rifle. He's got 4 shots left, hoping to see if he can peel any faces. Let's jump over to the observer mode as he connects with a face of Frosty. And look at this, back to this quiet, no movement really happening right here between both teams. They're taking it slow. They don't want to allow the other team to pull away. And this just shows you that these 2 top teams, they know the routes that each other are taking as well when you look at that snipe, but they just know each other and they know where they're going to be pushing from. They know when to make that opportunity, so they're taking their time, waiting for their prey.
The kill gap has really closed up, and all of a sudden it was the lead by 4. We're now back to 18. Everything's slowed down. Everything's rather quiet. The audience keep getting hyped. Some of those kills that Frosty was pulling up earlier on were absolutely disgusting. We'll jump out of the Observer now and move back over to Snakebite. He's wasted only one of these rockets. He is holding these. Oh, misses one, but he'll make the second land on Shooter. Now he's going to rotate into the blue base. That was actually one player getting blown up with the sniper rifle, so he's going to back them as well. More than likely look to him to rotate to his teammates. Someone's on the stairs, rocket goes in. That's not going to connect to any player whatsoever. Now they're going to drop down. He does have a little bit of defense, Mike. He's brought the weapons to his teammate.
He has, and now Hook's looking to pick up all these weapons. He'll go down, though, sniped by Frosty. Toe-to-toe right there. He'll go down. Now Frosty with all the goodies. He's got rockets and sniper right now, but there's another player with rockets, and he's got other plans. That's Boo Boo Doo Boo. And you know what? We've heard from the guys on CLG. I'd love to take a listen in what the comms are like going on for the players on E6.
They're getting sniper and rockets.
All right, they're gonna have
going outside.
Red window.
One tower.
I'm trying to help
One
outside.
short square. Tell me. Right now.
Sniping. Outside red sniping, guys.
They have sniper and rockets. They have sniper and rockets.
Here, Kyler.
I got killed from blue tower.
Yeah. Watch tower.
I'm sitting blue stairs, guys.
I got sniped from red flag.
Blue alley, snake bite.
From red sniping. Red BR sniping. And what's Top Cal with like rockets? Top Cal with rockets going blue window.
Yeah,
They're blue. We gotta run red. There's one red. I'm pretty red.
In red right now, he's in there.
He's weak. Lethal. I'm one shot, guys. I need help.
I don't see him. Where's he?
Still there, he's on a west one.
Turn around now.
Dead, he's dead.
I was out of shoddy.
Alright. Alright, rockets in 30.
Shoddy intent.
They have a sniper somewhere. They have a sniper somewhere.
You
want to get tower control or just
yeah, we
go
need to get
outside
tower
for...
control, man. Top cat sniping.
Sniping, he's sniping...
Blue alley,
blue cage now, blue cage.
Who's our tower, guys? I need help.
Cage, back up. Top blue stinky on the ledge. 20.
Oh, shoddy.
Top blue stinky was on the ledge. Help Ryan get these rockets outside.
They have shoddy. Shoddy right side tower.
Alright, Jesse's pushing now, Ryan.
Shoddy right side
blue
tower.
BR, blue BR. Jesse's pushing.
One's above me, weak. One shot. Blue stinky, flame bird, one shot. Cat sniping, Frosty.
Oh my lethal. Ground pound down. He was actually, rest in peace for Kratos. Now we're hopping on board with Frosty looking through that gap. That is a serious angle as we see rockets, and he'll connect the shot as well. Oh my word! And he gets the double!
God.
What an angle from Frosty! He found two faces, two bullets. What a massive double kill. That's going to back them, the rockets. Incredible scenes here. Doesn't find the triple.
It's
Damn.
not every day you see a double kill through that little crack right there. I mean, wow. And to perfectly line that up, to know when those players are going for that, just
Wow.
lining that up down to the T.
That's awesome.
Only here at the NA Finals are we going to see that. Frosty just always putting on a show. I mean, technically, we could call him Mr. Highlight Reel now after that.
See, I've got to say, Mike, what's happened? It used to be Royal 2 with the sniper. It used to be him doing all the heavy lifting with this weapon. At the moment, maybe it's because of that time off that Royal 2 had. You know, he wasn't very well, so he's backed off from the team for a while. Now he's back on board with it, but maybe they've just said, all right, Frosty's going to get used to this one. It's going to be his weapon for now. We've been practicing with this. And honestly, I don't blame them, because look at what he's doing. He's landing these shots. He's absolutely destroying E6 right now.
When you're on the receiving end of that,
it's upsetting.
you're just, what do we do? What do we do when we're getting hit from God knows where? You have no clue where that sniper bullet is even coming from.
Flying through a window, flying through some pipes, great little angles there, and he was doing it earlier on in the day. He's doing it again, 36 to 29. We kind of hit that time. And you know what? Look at the scoreline. We always say, banking it off. Goes for the double, doesn't quite land it, gets the killing spree as well. You know what I mean? This is where it happens. You get to around that 37 to 30 mark, and then it starts to really escalate, and that's what's happening. They're in trouble. They have to force onto CLG. CLG can happily just sit here and say, bring it on, guys.
They definitely can, but this is going to put E6 up to a test, and as I say that, Frosty just hits another headshot. I mean, for E6 to come back at this point, I mean, they pretty much are going to need a miracle. There's not much time, and if Frosty keeps hitting headshots like this, I mean, they have 20 power weapon kills collectively on Counter Logic Gaming. Over on the other side, on E6, they only have 12 power weapon kills. So CLG definitely making use of the sniper rifle and the rockets in this matchup.
And Frosty does finally get taken down, so let's look across the board and see who we have. It's going to be Snakebite, team captain, looking to try and make some map presence and really make his presence known. We'll stay on board with him now as he's going to try and jump up here and see if anyone's taking control of the tower. Nobody's actually in there at this... Or is he sneaking around the corner? Nope, he's just being very careful. Checking out security. Someone now is above him, though. He'll find one player. Does finally get cleaned up. 45-33 is the scoreline. Rockets, though, in the hands of Royal 2 and the sniper rifle as well. That player's going to dive off of Red Nest and get away with his life, but only just. Now they're going to look to try and take down this one player, really single him out. There's 2 players there, so they can kind of contain him and box him in. There's the rocket. I'm looking for the assist arrow to come in, Mike, but it's not there just yet.
Oh, it's not there, but they can take their time. They can take their time. There's no need to rush. They've got time on their side because they've got a major lead right now. They only need 2 kills now. About 35 seconds left. That looks like it's going to be the game if Royal 2 connects here, trying to pick up the last kill with the sniper shot. And look at this. You've got Lethal just putting the pressure on. They've locked and located this player hiding in the corner. And Royal 2 rips the face off of Kratos to end the game 50-35.
Sit down, Kratos. That, my friends, is how you end a game, by driving a bullet through your enemy skull. CLG will go up in the series 2 games 2-0. Now, Mike, that is a little bit of a different E6, what you mentioned before. Now they are very, very quiet. Before we go any further, though, let's take a look at the kill feed. Instantly, I have to point out at the bottom, Kratos 6 and 13, Shooter 5 and 11. Not exactly what you want to be doing. One thing I want to point out, though, at the top, Royal 2, look at those deaths. Three deaths. Royal 2 staying alive. 13 kills as well in the bag.
But look at the placement from Frosty throughout the map as well. Just his awareness. He's so aware of where people tend to go and where people move.
Look at that.
He's just always picking up so many sniper kills, and just look at these little tiny cracks that he's looking through as well. CLG, almost half of their kills were power weapon kills. They had 24 total power weapon kills there. I mean, Lethal getting that ridiculous
bang.
ground pound as well.
Wait for it. Bang. That is next level. That is Halo Esports at the highest level. To wait there on an angle like that, looking through a pipe, when you have an inch to hit someone in the face and to land it, that is ridiculous players. And that, my friends, is why he is the greatest player at the moment in Halo 5. We are moving into the strongholds on the rig. Any initial thoughts on this, Mike? I'd be sincerely worried.
I used to think this was their weakest game type, and I mean, they have definitely shown up at this tournament to prove myself and everyone else wrong that had thought this was their weakest game type. At one point it was. They've worked on it. They've made sure to come in strong here at this event to prove us all wrong, and now that seems to be like their best game type, Sims.
Well, this is what I was saying earlier on to Bravo when we're talking to Cloud9. I mean, when you look at CLG, they don't really have a weak game type. We call it their weak game type because that's the one they did worse in Pro League. But literally, Cloud9 said to me, no, that's one of their best. Literally, all they do when they scrim, you will always play them and they will always trash you on it. And honestly, they've been proving it. But really quick, guys, crack open your laptops. Obviously, you'll be watching on one, so there's no reason to do it. Open up a new window right now, halo.gg. Punch in that code, Fathom13. Unlock yourself a nice little cheeky gold pack from the people over at 343 Industries.
And you're going to have about 5 minutes to punch that code in, so make sure you do that right now. You'll get a nice gold rec pack with some goodies in that.
Can you kind of bend the rules a bit for me, Mike? Because as of recent, I'm not very happy with my recs. I have been getting wrecked by them. I don't get any golds in there anymore. It's just mongooses and needlers. It's not the best. You think you can have a quiet word with somebody?
I mean, well, I think Dan Gaskin kind of put it straight to me behind the curtains earlier. He said, just Sims, his gameplay has not been up to par. Gaskin said he was able to take you down, and he's been dominating you when it comes to the slays.
Dude, Gaskin doesn't even know what day it is when it comes to Halo. I don't even know why he's here, but that's for another story for another time. No doubt he'll be somewhere sinking his teeth into his face with that comment. Anyway, Royal 2 POV, let's kick it off. Game number 3, checking down the corridor. There's Hook. You know what, Sunshine, have a railgun to the back of the head. Just kind of checking these stairwells, making sure no one's going to come up. There's the second one, and here comes the shoot in the bodies area. Jumping down into basement. Boo Boo Doo Boo's coming up onto the carbine. But you know what? I would say they need to be aware of him, but honestly, they don't. There's 2 players there in basement. If you want a piece of it, they say, bring it on, Sunshine. There's a Railgun and 2 players here ready to clean you up. And look at that. They don't have to do anything. Distraction medal's going to pop in. Somebody running down the corridor. He's ready for this one. Just going to charge it up.
You can just tell how confident these guys are. I mean, just their communication, just their teamwork, their awareness of where each player is and where they're shooting at, that you just see instantaneous teamwork. And obviously, being in this LAN environment, being able to screen watch has made their reaction time so much quicker to help each other out. I mean, we saw them get a little bit of a rocky start against Cloud9, but that kind of woke up the beast, and now it's just like, this is just another day at the office for them. They're at home playing, and this is just another day of playing Halo.
I really want to just kind of give you guys, I'm hoping, he does die unfortunately, curse of the caster, but Snakebite was being such an anchor there on the back rail. He was literally not moving. Nobody could advance forward, and he was, for me, apart from Royal 2 getting these kills with that railgun, the main reason they was doing so well, because he was holding this point, stopping any basement advancement. And then on the other side, you've just got Lethal hopping back and forward. There will be a trade-off there, though. We kind of see him getting the upper advantage. He'll dive straight on in. He gets the trade. Fair enough, he's down, but that's double kill that they needed. Over on the other side, we're going to see a little bit of a fight going on for the nest area. Now Hook's coming in. They've got the carbine spawn, but the big question is, can they take control of this basement?
I mean, they've got it. Hook is the only one here right now, so they're all spread out. He's got to try and get into position, and I like this play, just being able to capture this right behind the crate, knowing that no player can get any shots or grenades on him over on the other side. But now they're able to put some points on the board. He's just playing sneaky, and it works out perfect. Takes down Lethal, looking to take down Snakebite as well. A nice little epic battle right there. Hook is able to decline Snakebite of any chance of getting control of that basement. Now we're seeing Enigma6 turn things around, but how long can they hold this for? They need to stay in good position and not allow CLG to get a split spawn over by the carbine into the bunker and get sandwiched.
Can we all take a moment to appreciate that he actually made himself a little bit of a trench down at the bottom by punching over that barrel, being able to get the basement, but also putting himself up a little defensive shield. That's some next level stuff right there. That's the box meta, I'm calling it now. 2 members though, they're going to be still on this rail area. Snakebite's there with the scatter shot. Perfect kill, sees him going flying through the air. Now it will transfer back into the hands of Hook. There's only 1 bullet left, but obviously once you use that up, you get rid of it. 10-second respawn. This is kind of how you can control the basement. Just keep that scatter on respawn over and over again. So long as you're collecting it, you've got yourself a dirty little weapon to keep control.
Yeah, and if you can combine that with camo, it's even deadlier. But there you see Hook picking up a double kill. That's going to be 3 down for Counter Logic Gaming, and now Hook moving back, and he's moving back to make sure that there's no players that can potentially spawn back here, blocking that barrel spawn, just staying back, making sure that CLG spawns the furthest point away over in that bunker. So Hook playing this perfectly, and they have now brought this back within reach. It's 32-37. Enigma6 needs to win this one to hopefully kind of bring themselves back and pick up that momentum for them, because if you go down 3-0, I mean, you're just putting so much more work on you. But there you see Kratos with the new scatter shot, picks up a kill. Hook looking to pick up another one, gets that player weak, but Kratos is able to finish him. We're seeing some good teamwork here from E6 right now. That's going to be 1 down for CLG. Make that 2 down for CLG. E6 is holding this down just like we saw CLG do moments ago.
Kratos putting in the work with that scatter. He'll now transfer out and grab himself a railgun as well. One person's been extremely aggressive over on the pipestone, pushing him hard. I believe I just clicked for Frosty there. He'll drop down as well. It's going to be actually Snakebite, but there is another red dot on the radar. Needs to be aware of him. That's Frosty charging hard. Frosty trying to really push him back here, but he knows if he dives out, he's going to get the blue screen of death as that railgun will come flying towards his face. Instead, he opts to drop down to the basement. But look at this. They're in all sorts of trouble. I mean, no matter what Kratos is doing around him, all the points have been captured. We had triple cap in effect for just a second. Fair enough, he's got the killing spree, but Mike, there's no points going on the board.
Yeah, they weren't able to pick up another second stronghold right there to get some points. Meanwhile, CLG just keeps pulling away, so all these kills that they're getting really don't mean too much. And you know, right now, E6 is outslaying CLG, 34-28. So yeah, they're killing them, but they're not focusing enough on getting the power weapons, and Kratos is actually gonna fall off the map right there. That's gonna put a little bit of pressure on the players on E6 to get out of that base and push it past that BR base and get over towards the basement. And there you see it, just player after player in the kill feed just falling from E6 over and over again. And Frosty, I mean, he's running around the middle of the map right now just freely, not really getting shot too much. Goes for the stick. That looked like it did connect, but now we are at 77 to 42 right now. Looking very good for Counter Logic Gaming to take this up to 3-0 in the series.
There's no stopping this man, Mike. At the moment, he's just been allowed to roam freely across the map. Almost does fall off there. Nice little use of the clamber. Will stay alive. Looking for that next camo. Basement has been taken. But I like this. Rather than dive bombing into basement, he sees the nest is being taken back. He finds Hugh over on the rail. He knows one player's there. He's just going to walk across aimlessly, but Boo Boo Doo Boo. Some great shots on Frosty. Some nice little bit of defense there. And we will see Kratos clean up the kill. Great teamwork from them two to stop that advancement from Frosty. But now it's over to Snakebite. Railgun in hand. Finds one. Looks for the second. Doesn't land it. Finally, we see a little bit of map presence coming out of E6.
Now we see him rotating around the map, potentially trying to get some control here on the other side and just constantly slaying here. Using the railgun at its best. They've got 7 kills with power weapons right now. So Counter Logic Gaming always just really using the power weapons to their absolute advantage. I think that's what they're so good at doing. They don't let them go to waste. It's like sometimes you just want to make sure the other team doesn't have the power weapons, but CLG, once they get them, I mean, they do work with them.
Finally, Boo Boo will shut him down and end that reign of terror. Let's hop on board with Boo Boo. He's got both power weapons. He's got the railgun and the scar shot, but not much ammo in either. One more bullet in this and only 2 more bullets in the scar. Grenades are coming in below him. He's just kind of bobbing, weaving here, trying to distract this other player who is teeing up a ground pound. In doing so, that's going to be Snakebite. He was taken down by Shooter, so the call came in across the map. But, Mike, while all this is going on, still, they're getting the kills. We're seeing the killing sprees, everything like that. I'm surprised he didn't whip out his scatter just to end that one there and then. The time's still ticking away, man. They're only 6 more points away. They really need this basement, but there's 2 more players collapsing in. He'll bounce it off the back of the wall to hit the guy there. That's an important kill. If they can clutch this up, this all comes down to Kratos getting that. Unfortunately, he will be shut down by Royal 2. Time is ticking away. 1 more point to seal the deal. And there you have it, guys. CLG will take map number 3.
I mean, CLG just is playing so absurdly good. It just seems like they can't even be touched right now.
Wow.
After they lost those 2 games early in the event, it just seems like everything's clicking. Frosty's just so confident when every chance we're on his screen. He's literally flying through the center of the map, just not thinking he's going to get shot ever. And strategically, they're playing patient. They're taking their time. And let's take a look at these stats. 17 kills from Royal 2, putting up some big numbers. But even still, they actually got outslayed by the guys on E6 and were still able to win by a good amount of time.
Well, that's what I noted, Mike, during that game. Every time we looked across at an E6 member, you saw killing sprees, you were seeing double kills, you were seeing plenty of damage coming out of the boys, but, you know, it was all about the plots. They were getting no point, they were getting no time and no points ticking away. They would just look like they were playing a game of Slayer, really. It just didn't go their way, but, you know, CLG knows exactly what they're doing. Even if they're getting slayed, it's all about the objective work. As you can see, guys, we are in your grand finals. If you are just joining us, welcome along. This is Counter Logic Gaming versus Enigma6. We are moving into Fathom, Capture the Flag. This is game number 4. This is how we seal the deal for CLG. 1 more map, and they will be your HCS Pro League North American Summer Champions. Honestly, they look cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, Lethal just got a little smirk on his face right there. Snakebite just always focused, never really cracking a smile or cracking any emotion until after the event. Over on the other side, you've got E6, definitely looking a little bit worried right now. You can tell, not too much talking going on, but now you've got Kratos trying to lead that charge, be the leader of the team, like he always has been in the past. But, you know, Shooter is not performing like he has been throughout the rest of the event, and we've talked about this. When teams match up against CLG, it's a whole nother ball game. They play differently. They don't play like they normally do, and CLG will never give you a chance to take a second or two to make a decision. You need to be making your decision immediately, because that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to be in your face. They're going to be outsmarting you. they play a different game when it comes to the strategy side, and that's what you were talking about, Sims. Even though they got outslayed, they're still they're focusing on the objective throughout the game. They have a bigger picture play going on, and they just let the other team kind of fall into their trap, and that's exactly what's happening right now with E6.
Okay, Mike, so I want to take you back to the days of Final Boss. I want to take you back to your prime, my friend. Let's put you in the place now of E6. You're moving into a do or die scenario. Let's capture the flag on Fathom. Tell me, Mike, what's the play? How do you win this map? How do you take down the powerhouse that is CLG?
I mean, you just got to stay focused. You can't think about what's previously happened right now. This is the game you focus on, and this is all that matters right now. Nothing else in the world matters right now but winning this game and taking this series to that next game. We're going to see if Enigma6 can do it. You've got Snakebite already with the railgun. You've got Shooter kind of hanging back, and it doesn't look good already. That's 2 players down from E6, and Shooter's just trying to defend this flag. He's able to do so, taking down 1 player, but CLG is already hot in their tracks, just pushing straight upon E6's base. And look at this, 3 players from E6 just stuck in their base. CLG is not letting them make a single move.
Just turtled in completely. 1, 2, I'm looking at 3 players down. Let's hop on board with Snakebite, team captain, just getting a couple of shots on 1 player there. At some point, I want to go to a listening with E6. We won't do it at this moment in time because they are running a flag, and this looks like it's going to go in the bag. However, we're going to see Frosty go down the opposing side, so long as nobody comes around that corner, this will be a secure flag cap from there. It's going to be Kratos. We can see Lethal calling for some support. 2 players going to run in. That's actually going to be a return, and they're going to get a pull as well. You know what, guys? Let's jump into a listening with E6 because I want to hear the communication. I want to hear exactly how they're going to bring this one back.
Going on green.
He's top mid. He's top mid still. He's top mid. He's top mid.
I'm shooting the box. RBR behind me.
I'm in our bridge. Our bridge,
guys.
Alright, we're gonna give this
I got it out.
They're pulling it.
It's our bridge. Watch the re. Watch the re.
Need it. Need the
On it. We need to go.
Go.
I'm one shot for red bridge.
I didn't touch it. You don't
On
know.
ridge.
Alright, get our tree control to top mid.
Nice.
Rails up in 20.
They got that? Yeah. Let's stress this real
Alright.
guys. Let's go. I'm going their silo.
Go top mid.
I'm going their
Control
silo.
their front base for the drug on. Alright. Retreat, Royal 2.
Need help, top mid. You're alone, Jesse. Stay alive.
One's on the rail. Pushing our base.
I'm looking at front base. He's on front base. One shot. Frosty dead.
Carlos is...
Dude, I'm one shot. Put him in.
Guys, rail
Okay,
gun.
in our silo. Our silo, one shot. Lethal.
Put him in.
Silo, lethal.
Put him in weak. He's on out.
I'm nading rail.
Came up 50.
They're front base.
Two of them there.
I died, dude. They're on rail.
He's running it. There's
Two
one
guys
rush.
there.
There's one rush. One rush, Kyler.
Camo's
Front base, one shot. Lethal. And our corner.
on top mid for Camo. They have it.
One's there front base with the rail. I'm pushing top mid.
One's RBR, one shot, guys.
Top mid right now. Top mid is camo. Top mid is camo.
The railgun's their corner.
RBR, shots, Kyler.
Railgun's their corner right now.
Get to our tree, guys.
Their corner, one shot with rail. Dead. Another guy on our silo. Our silo with camo.
They have railguns somewhere.
Our silo with camo, guys.
There's a guy weak.
Still there. He's going back.
Jesse.
Shot, he's one shot of silo.
They're pushing our elbow.
One shot of silo.
They're
Again. They're better again. We just got
Nade
over.
it. Just
on
nade
it.
it.
One shot on flag. One shot on front base. Lethal.
Front base, guys.
Kalo's one shot on our tree. Absolute. One shot our engine. One shot our engine.
Another one there.
One shot our engine. Frosty.
He's our port.
He's full.
Going out.
Nice.
Nice job. No, our front base.
I'm looking at front base. They're alive.
Weak.
Let's start slaying the fuck out of these dudes. Come on.
One shot our porch. One shot our front base. Take fight. Go tree.
Top mid our side. Top mid our side.
And you can hear E6 slay them. They need to get the kills on the board. During that listening, CLG were able to capitalize and put 1 flag in the back of the net. Hook gets taken down. He gets boxed in. We're going to see another kill coming out of Boo Boo Doo. He will answer Lethal back. Boo Boo Doo now just trying to get into the sneaky, looking across that top middle. Remember, that is where Camo spawned. This is a most pivotal and important area. When we look on Halo heat maps, we see how many kills come from this tree house angle. This is one of the angles and one of the areas you want to be watching. You'll see him there in the window, so he knows that player's there. He's going to bank a nade off, but Mike, we do not see any hit markers coming out. Now Royal 2 is just walking away. You're seeing the kill feed there with plenty of kills because he's got the railgun in hand.
Yeah, and you heard Kratos say we need to slay more. They are getting outslayed 34-19 right now, so they've got to just focus on killing CLG, getting 1 or 2 players down, and then pushing up. But you can tell they're just playing very timid as well. You can tell they're a little bit nervous when trying to push out of their base, a little bit afraid because they know CLG could be at any corner, and that's what CLG will make you feel like. They'll just be all over you. And Snakebite from downtown with the railgun. Royal 2 picking up another kill on Boo Boo Doo. Just player after player on E6 falling time and time again. And then we've got 7 kills with the power weapons from CLG. 0 on the other side from E6. I mean, it seems like CLG has just been top middle, just raining down firepower throughout this entire match. E6 needs to focus on, let's get out of our base. Let's make one wave of a push. Sneak a guy out. Get somebody behind them. Boo Boo Doo will finally take down Snakebite.
Finally, because he's just been running away with that railgun. Again, Snakebite is the leader of the pack, and he's just been anchoring top middle. Now we see Frosty. This is what I like about CLG. As soon as one player drops down from top mid, they move another one up there because that is the, that's the biggest place you want to be. Frosty will catch a player off guard, though. He does a little bit of an adverse jump to hit the roof, then drop down. We see grenades going into the gen. He's got the hit marker, so now it's time to run in. There's 2 of them pushing hard. Down he goes, looking for the opposing end, though. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Shooter comes in. He's going to pick up a big double kill to shut down this flag run advancement. We'll hop aboard Shooter's POV, see what's going down over here. He's going to jump into the sneaky, just looking for this one player. That's going to be lethal. 1, 2, 3. Not landing his shots, though. Ooh, that's not good. Lethal takes advantage of the windmill.
And now we've got Royal 2 pushing in with the railgun. He's got the flag, moving it over to the treehouse in a perfect awareness as well. Noticing that he doesn't have any players over there by the VAT, so that VAT is going to be where they're going to be spawning. So he's going to move this through the treehouse, take his time right now, pick up a sleigh. That's going to be 1 down for E6, and you've got the flag moving in here. But on the other side, Kratos has the flag as well. So both flags are out right now, having a bit of a standoff, and the new railgun is up. Whichever team could get this could potentially use that to make it a lot easier to get their flag returned. Now, let's move over to Snakebite. He's got the flag here over by the treehouse. Over on the other side, that flag, I believe, is still sitting out in the open.
I possibly think, Mike, it just got returned. Yes, it did. It has been returned, so we're going to see Snakebite throw that out. He's going to run into this camo. He's got 2 players. Fair enough, he did have some defense, but he knew he was going to go down anyway. The Shooter will advance on that. He'll get the return himself. Frosty comes flying around the corner with the fresh railgun. They need to take him down. They do not want to let that little man get up top mid, because if he does, you mentioned it before, Mike, they are just going to rain down bullets from there. Royal 2, and this is what I said earlier on, Mike. Every time one person drops down, no matter who it is, there's another CLG member to take the place up on top mid and be that anchor point.
Yeah, that's the most important spot to control, especially when you're running a flag. You want to cut off routes and make sure they're spawning over by the VAT, and there's a big kill from Royal 2. Now, headed straight back to where you're just talking about, top middle. Now, look at this. You see all the players from CLG collapsing into the base here of E6. Royal 2 flies in. He's going to take Kratos down. That's 2 down, 3 down for E6 right now. CLG making their descent, trying to get a flag pull. Not able to do so. You've got Frosty with the railgun taking down Shooter. That's going to be a headshot for him. 2 down for E6, but he will fall to Hook. So that's going to stop that flag from getting out of that base.
Lethal gets a little bit of support. He does have no shield, but he is managing to stay alive. The shield regen comes into effect. Just putting that grenade out there, laying down the feelers, hoping to get some hit markers. Does not happen. Shooter comes flying around the corner. He's going to go toe-to-toe. E6, E6, E6. I'm seeing 3 down now for CLG across the board. 2 players going to make their way up top mid. Grenades do not find its target. That player will somehow stay alive. And just look at that. It's completely covered in grenade territory at the moment. Landmines all over the place. You're going to have fancy footwork. Lethal comes up, gives him the blunt end of the gun. Let's try and find someone else, his POV, who is alive right now. It's going to be Boo Boo Doo picking up the fresh railgun.
All right, now this is an opportunity. They've got some top middle control. They've got a power weapon. They've got 1 down on CLG. They have the clear advantage right now. This is the opportunity. 2 down for CLG. You see 2 players, now 3 players from E6 trying to make their descent. But look at that. It's a 2-on-4, and you've got players on E6 dying right there. You can't have that happening. Yeah, you need to push into the base, but you've got a 2-on-4. You can't be dying in a time like that when you're trying to tie the game up. 1-1.
Everything seems to be going wrong right now. Let's hop across to Mr. Hook. Let's jump into a listing. Let's have a final listen, possibly, to what these gentlemen have to say, how they're going to win this game out.
Our pit, one shot, and one RBR. One shot our silo, guys. One shot our silo.
RBR dead. I think.
Our silo still, guys. Our silo still. He's weak, go through. He's guys are silo. Ryan, I'm coming.
I got
red garage, and then red silo. Red silo, Justice. Or our silo, I mean.
Watch their tree. Watch their tree.
Let's push this. One's our flag.
Watch their tree.
Oh,
shit.
They're coming on. I'm
Tree.
Their tree 2-shot.
Their
flag Frosty.
They're silos
One shot their flag, Frosty.
They're silos are tree.
They're tree ledge,
I'm looking.
He doesn't know I'm here. One shot our silo.
Nice. They're elbow. They're tree.
Come on.
Nice.
They're tree. They're front door.
They're BR snake plate. One tree or
Front door.
They're BR snake plate. We have to live, Brian.
One shot.
That was 20.
Absolute their tree.
We're just one cap away, guys. We have all the time to hold. Come on.
Tyler, you cannot.
Slice, Kyler. Straight up.
Rail at 10.
One shot their silo. They're corner. I'm mid. I'll kill top mid. I'll kill lethal.
One shot their silo.
I naded their silo, dude.
There's no one bottom mid.
Someone go for it. Kyler, go for it.
To that, guys. I'm getting left. They're pit. I used one shot.
They're wall.
Watch their corner. Absolute mid.
Check corner, wait for it.
Two are from base. They're pushing me.
We have a minute 2. I'm running this.
They're gonna be on road.
They're BR.
One time wall.
Plenty of time, guys.
Camo
Plenty of time.
23. They're from rail. One rail. One rail now.
Nice. I'm looking front their base.
Tweak with it.
One shot front their base.
Go in the pit.
Absolute in their pit. One shot solo.
Kill their engine.
Two in our pit. Two in red pit. Two in red pit.
We have one push here, guys.
They're wall weak. Lethal. One base weak lethal.
And here we go then, guys. 90 seconds remaining. They need to make something happen, and they need to make it happen now. Kratos is the only one over in the red base, so he needs some support. He's looking for his teammates. I'm looking across. No one's here, Mike. He's in a rock and a hard place. One person comes flying around the corner. He will get that kill, but he just kind of needs to stay here. There's not really much he can do. He needs to go for a touch. Unfortunately, we will see Snakebite running in with that camo to get him out of the base. Once again, look at the power weapon control coming out of CLG though, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, Lethal actually here with the camo. I mean, but CLG not allowing E6 to do absolutely anything. And you heard Shooter at one point tell Hook, hey, you can't go for the flag right now. You're the only guy over there. It's like everyone on E6 is trying to do way too much because their backs are up against the wall, so they're putting themselves in bad situations. Lethal just hanging back with the camo, waiting for a player from E6 to get the flag, and Hook, he's gonna get a big kill. Let's see if he's able to get this flag moving. Let's jump over to him. He's got a fight here in front of the base, but not able to do so. Boo Boo Doo is nearby, but constantly the guys on E6 are putting themselves in bad situations because they need to win, and you can tell that the nerves are definitely getting to them.
Yes, indeed. The flag's been returned once again. There's only 10 seconds remaining, guys. I think that's pretty much going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be game, set, and match 4-0 for CLG. They are your HCS Pro League champions.
Well, the champions of the HCS Summer Pro League. An absolutely fantastic performance from you guys. I mean, I don't think it was ever in doubt from anyone in this crowd, anyone watching at home. No disrespect to these guys, did you think it might be a little bit closer in this final?
We don't really go into a series expecting anything. We just really try to play our best, you know, hope for the best, and just have all the hard work we put in online really come into play.
And so going into full season, is there anyone that you're expecting to be your main competitors when that does start?
EG, Roy and Lunch, definitely, obviously have to credit those dudes. And this team, for sure, obviously, they proved to this tournament. They're one of the best teams in the world.
Well, here you have it. Give another round of applause to these guys, your HCS Summer Pro League champions. Take your trophy. Enjoy your moment, CLG.
All right, and Counter Logic Gaming, your summer 2016 champions, and of course, only a fitting story. A team that went 13-1 during the regular season, dropping only one series, and here they are in the finals, stomping their competition with a 4-0 win. Guys, I can't say we expected really anything different here.
I mean, it was pretty impressive performance. Everyone knew that Counter Logic Gaming was the top dog coming into this tournament. Now, what I did not expect was for them to be as good as they were here today.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, the one thing now we have to look forward to, Tom, is CLG. They've established that they are the kings of this summer season. Now everyone asks the question, will there be a squad that can take them down in the fall or even in the next Halo World Championship?
I mean, definitely a fitting way to end this season, having E6 the only team to beat CLG to face them in the finals. The big question is when's the Hurricane going to start? When is the offer to Rami going to come through? When are the teams going to start swapping players in order to take down CLG? Because you better believe that almost every single team is going to possibly change, besides maybe one or two here.
And I mean, the reason being is your bracket here. Take a look. Counter Logic Gaming, 4-0 over Team Envious, and 4-0 over Enigma6, stomping all of their opponents. Cloud9, of course, the only team able to squeak out 2 games against them. But as you were alluding to, Tom, you know that the other rosters in the league, they're going to be trying to assembling the roster that can take down this CLG roster.
I mean, and there's absolutely players out here in the league that can compete with Counter Logic Gaming. We've talked about Hook time and time again. Everyone from Enigma6 actually had pretty good performances, especially Shooter. You know, big shout out to Shooter, as this is the best tournament that I've actually seen him play.
Yeah, absolutely. Shooter put on quite a show. I think we also saw, I mean, great performances even from some of the players early on in the tournament, right, on the C9 side, and of course the relegation teams as well. For those of you who missed it, Optic Gaming and Liquid will be joining us once again in the fall season, of course, and now we see CLG crowned as the champions here. You know, I think CLG also put some rumors to rest about any weak spots they had. I think people were talking about holes in the armor. I spent a fair bit of time talking about their weaknesses on the rig, and I was silenced as well. I mean, they look so strong.
Yeah, that's the key, is coming out strong versus a team that's so strong. We saw C9 do it. C9 could have potentially won this tournament if they didn't have a mishap in the very end of Stronghold's rig. They could have been up 3-0 against CLG. That's just absolutely unheard of. If this was a best of 5, that means that they would have got swept. That hasn't even happened to them, but they turn the tides. They end up coming back, winning 4 in a row, and I don't think they've lost since then.
Right, no, they have not. And of course, everyone's now going to look ahead to the fall season, where CLG will be looking to defend this crown, and over the next few weeks, you can expect a fair bit of team changes, both on the open side as well as the Pro League side, to determine which roster will be able to take them down. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors here, of course, Skype, Sandboxer, Astro Gaming, Loot Crate, and everyone else who made this event possible. Most importantly, we want to thank you for watching from home, of course, everyone here and the crowd as well. Those of you who tuned in, of course, we wouldn't be here without you. For T-Squared and Elamite, my name is Bravo. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time at the Halo Championship Series.